You've done everything right. You've visualized, you've set intentions, you've raised your vibration, you've scripted, you've affirmed, and you've maybe even done subliminals while you sleep. And yet nothing's changing. Or worse, things start shifting, momentum starts building, and you get this close to what you want, and then it all falls apart. And everybody tells you the same thing. You're not in the right vibration. You're not clear enough on your end goals. Are you sure that's what you really want? Do you know what? Stay positive, it'll happen. But here's what nobody's saying. The reason manifestation isn't working has nothing to do with your vibration. It has everything to do with an unconscious pattern that you've been running since you were between 5 and 7 years old. I'm Terriane, and in the next 13 minutes, I'm going to show you the self-sabotage pattern that's blocking your manifestations and how to actually break it. So let me guess what's been happening. You set the intention, you feel it, you do the visualization, you might even see evidence showing up, synchronicities, opportunities, doors opening, and then you take your focus off it, or you do something to mess it up. Maybe you ghost the client who was actually ready to work with you, or you pick a fight with your partner right when things are going well, or maybe you just stop showing up, you stop posting, you stop asking the right questions, and you stop taking that consistent action that you were taking. And the worst part is you have no idea why you're doing it. So you think, well, maybe this isn't what I really want. And you start doubting yourself and questioning whether you're the problem. And you know what? You must be doing something wrong. So you go back to doing more manifestation work, more visualizations, more affirmations, more processes to raise your vibration. But here's the truth. The problem isn't your manifestation practice. The problem is an unconscious identity that's still running the show. And until you address that, you can manifest until you're blue in the face and it still won't stick. Let me break down for you what's really happening here. You see, manifestation teaches you to focus on what you want. Set the intention, feel the feeling, align your energy together. And that's really powerful. That part works, all right? That part's great. But here's what gets missed. You can't out-manifest your identity. If your subconscious identity says, well, I'm the kind of person that struggles. I'm the kind of person who doesn't actually ever get to the finish line. I'm kind of like a 90. I get 90% of the way there and then, well, I just never seem to fully complete anything. Or I'm the kind of person who sabotages things right when they're going good. If that's you, then no amount of visualization is going to ever override that, because your identity is the operating system and your manifestation, well, it's just the app sitting on top. And if the operating system says, we don't do that, the app will crash every single time. So think about it like this. You can visualize being a millionaire all day long, but if your identity is, I'm bad with money, your subconscious will find a way to lose it, avoid it, or sabotage the opportunities to receive it. So you can affirm, I'm worthy of love until you're hoarse in the throat. But if your identity is, I know I'm a bit too much for most people, or I always get left, or there's nobody out there that gets me, you'll unconsciously push people away or choose unavailable partners. And that is why smart, spiritually aware people still self-sabotage. Not because they don't know any better, but because their identity hasn't caught up to their desires. So let's talk about how this actually shows up, because self-sabotage isn't always obvious. So there's 3 types that I've identified with most of my clients. There's type 1, which is the pullback. So this is when you're moving towards the goal. Things are working, momentum's building, and then you just stop. You ghost. Sometimes you ghost yourself, right? You disappear. You get busy doing other things, other priorities take your focus and attention. Your subconscious says, we're getting too close to unfamiliar territory, abort the mission. Right? The second type is the explosion. So this is when you blow things up right before the breakthrough, or you're just about at the finish line. You pick a fight. You make a reckless decision. You create unconscious drama. And your subconscious says, well, if we're going to fail, at least let's control how we fail. Because familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar success. And the third type is the plateau. And this one's quite sneaky because you don't actively sabotage, you just stall. You stay busy, but nothing actually moves. You're always about to launch, about to finish, about to take the leap. You're the gunner that never fires a shot, and therefore you never get anywhere. Your subconscious says, well, as long as we're in preparation mode, we're safe. But actually succeeding, that's dangerous. We're not doing that. Do any of these sound familiar to you? Because here's the thing, none of these are character flaws, they are survival strategies. Your subconscious isn't trying to ruin your life, it's trying to keep you safe based on outdated information. And until you update that information, until you shift the identity, manifestation will feel like pushing a boulder uphill. So how do you break the pattern? Well, not with more manifestation techniques. You need to do it with identity work. Here's the process. So step one is you've got to name the unconscious identity. You've got to know what it is. What's the story your subconscious is running? Is it something like, I'm the person who always messes things up? Or I'm the person who doesn't get to have easy success. I've got to work hard for it. I'm the person who has to work twice as hard for half the results that other people do. Now, here's what's key here though, is I don't want you to go digging for years to find out what is the deep underlying core. That's not what we're asking. I just want you to ask yourself simply, what belief am I holding on to right now that would make this pattern that I'm doing make sense? What is it? It can stay surface level. That's all you need to do is shift it out of the way so you can take another step forward. All right? That's what we're doing here. And when we can answer that question, that's when we'll figure out what unconscious identity is at play. The second step is to acknowledge what it's protecting you from. Now this is really important because your subconscious isn't trying to be mean to you. It's trying to keep you safe. It's trying to do its job. Now, maybe when it was little, it learned that success was equivalent to losing yourself or becoming a puppet to other people's ideas. You don't get to get what you want. You have to help them get what they want, right? Maybe it learned that visibility was equivalent to danger. You were setting yourself up for ridicule and rejection. Or maybe it learned that receiving meant owing somebody else something. And that's not good. So it sabotages before those things can happen. You see, once you see the logic, you can stop fighting yourself and instead start partnering with your subconscious because it's a powerful part of you. All right, so once you've figured that out, step 3 is to choose the new identity. Not, I want to be wealthy, or not, I'm manifesting success, but I am the person who already has this. So what we're doing here is it's not future tensing. It's not putting it outside of ourselves into the future. It's not aspirational. What we want is we need it to be present. We need you to be present, and we need it to be in the present tense. So I am the person who finishes what I start. I am the person success comes easily to. I am the person who receives without guilt. Now, this is almost like Neville Goddard's work where we're living from the end result, but with the nervous system piece integrated as well. All right, so the fourth and final step is you need to give your body evidence. Your subconscious needs proof, not affirmations, proof. So after you claim your new identity, you need to take one action immediately from that identity. So what would the version of you who already has this do in your current circumstances right now? Not someday, right now. Really important. And you need to do that thing right now. Because every time you act from the new identity and stay safe, you're training your unconscious mind how it is. You're getting your subconscious to update its database. And it learns, oh, hang on a minute. We can be this new person. We're not dying here. And slowly the sabotage stops because it's no longer needed. It's just been replaced. So here's what I need you to understand from this is that you're definitely not broken, and you're also not doing manifestation wrong. Your vibration is fine. You're just trying to manifest from an identity that doesn't match the outcome that you've been drawing in. And no amount of vision boards, affirmations, or high vibe playlists will override an unconscious identity that says, this isn't safe for us. But the good news, once you shift the identity, manifestation becomes effortless. You stop fighting yourself and therefore your self-sabotage. And when you do that, it becomes possible for you to start completing what you want. You step into that space where you trust yourself enough to open up and receive what you've been asking for. And that's what we work on inside the Superconscious switch. The identity shifts, the nervous system regulation, the frameworks that help you stop working toward your life and start living from it. So if this video has landed with you in any way, I want to give you an invitation to come and join us. The link is below, and it's a free community. You know, we do live calls, we do challenges, and I walk you through the exact process I just described, plus the tools that help you make it stick. Plus we just have fun doing everyday life, making sure we're doing everyday life from the identities we want to operate from. So if you want to switch your manifestations up and step into a bit more flow starting today, then here's a little bit of homework for you. I want you to ask yourself, what unconscious identity would make my current pattern make sense? Don't overthink it. The first thing that comes up is usually the right thing. Then ask yourself, who would I need to be for this manifestation to feel natural, like it was everyday life? Not what you need to do, who you need to be. And then take one small action from that identity today. Because here's the thing, we're not trying to prove anything to the universe, but we're trying to prove something to ourselves. You see, when we can make that shift happen, that's when everything changes. Not in the visualizations, but in the embodiment of who we are. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today. That's all I've got time for today. But if you haven't already, then I'm going to invite you to also not only join the community, but hit that subscribe button. And if this landed for you and something came up, I'd love to know what resonated. Drop me a comment below. Thanks for being here, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.